when it comes to your sleep, it is the most important thing. I know we can talk about exercise, food, and all of that stuff, but if your sleep is not perfect, you're gonna have more disease. You're not gonna be able to exercise, to your full potential. Every other thing will just not be optimal to protect your sleep in all the ways possible.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Busy People Getting Fit podcast. Today, we have a wonderfully special guest, Adriana Shuman, founder of Your Wellness Made Simple and an expert in holistic health. Adriana is on a mission to transform lives by shifting the focus from disease prevention to vibrant health creation. As the author of Live Well, Empowering Habits for Vibrant Health and Unstoppable Energy, she's helped hundreds unlock unstoppable energy and lasting confidence. Get ready for some powerful insights on restorative sleep and how you can start building the vibrant health you deserve today. Let's jump in. Welcome, Adriana.
Thank you, Brian. Excited to be here and talk about sleep.
Love it. I'm so glad you were here. So let's just jump right in. You have a dreams method for creating a restorative sleep routine. Walk me through it. What do I need to do?
All right, let's get to the point. So I want to define sleep first, though, because many people believe that sleep is just a knockout, passive time to just do absolutely nothing. And it's the opposite. Sleep is actually an active process that heals, that detoxifies, rejuvenates, and it's really the foundation, the non-negotiable, free biological thing that we do for strong immunity, mental clarity, resilience, and with what you do with your work, exercise, and it's just so important for every single aspect of our life. So I have developed the dreams framework for people to have an easier way of understanding the steps that they have to take if they truly want to live a life that's vibrant, they have energy, it affects your mood, every single aspect of your life. So D stands for dark.
Okay.
I'm going to walk you through it now. And why is D important, the darkness? Because our body is regulated by light. That's how our bodies, our cells, our hormones, and everything that's happening inside of our body knows whether it's day, time, when to digest food, when to release this hormone, that hormone, and everything is regulated by light. So darkness in the evening tells your body, tells the brain it's time to release melatonin. Melatonin helps you to go to sleep, also stay asleep, and it really only works in darkness. So all these blue lights, artificial lights from overhead lights, TV, phone screens, whatever, in this beautiful modern life are going to shut down the melatonin, and you're just not going to have that deep restorative sleep that's absolutely necessary for immune health and everything. So that's D.
Okay, so I've got questions. I got questions. So when you say turn off lights in the evening, do you mean turn off all the lights for like right when you go to bed, or do you start dimming lights throughout? From the time you get home, you might eat dinner, and you started your routine. Do you dim lights for that? Let's call it hour before bed.
Yeah. So let's go deeper. So great question. I turn overhead lights off because it's the overhead lighting. It's just like if you were out, when the sun is highest, that's when it tells the brain, oh, there is sunlight. It's time to be awake, time to release cortisol, adrenaline, and be focused and alert, right? So you want that overhead light off. And if you're going to have lights on, obviously you need to have lights on. I tell people to turn the lamps on so the light is lower. And what I have in my house, all my lamps have red or yellow light bulbs, which is super easy to get on internet.
Okay. Red or yellow? Is that what you
yellow. If we want to get rid of that blue light, that's the light that we want in the morning, that we want during the day. That's the light that tells your brain to release cortisol. We want the blue light off. So these light bulbs are a very easy, affordable way to still have light in your house, but have the biological systems release the hormones that are supposed to be released in the evening, like melatonin, and shut down the cortisol. because they can't both work together. It's one or the other.
Yeah.
So that's that for
I'm writing that down, by the way. I'm red lights in our lamps. I'm
yeah, and what I do actually, but I'm a little, out there.
We're both out there. We're both out there. The people are listening. They want to know, what do the out there people do? Because keep in mind, normal, you and I both know this. Normal is overweight. Normal is suffering from chronic disease. Normal has to use momentum to get up out of this chair. Normal is blood work that is diabetic, right? I mean, so out there, we're going to, out there is us, going to a restaurant and eating a salad before the steak, right? I mean, that's what out there has become, as opposed to the blooming onion, fried. So I want all the out there stuff.
Good. So we're switching it. The out there is going to become normal.
Well, that's the goal. That's the goal.
Yeah. So what I do is I actually have a light bulb with me when I travel, when I go to hotel rooms.
Okay, that is an extra step.
And I do that because, again, it's not that expensive. It's easy to do, and I also carry a black tape with me, like a duct tape that's black, and I put all over the hotel rooms. I tape all these little blue lights, because it can be a tiny little blue light that really it goes through your eyes into your brain, telling your pineal glands, and just like the whole hormonal system, like what is actually happening outside your body. Is it day? Is it night? What's going on? So the light is really, really crucial. And for people like, okay, well, you're serving busy people, right? Like, well, I have work, I have to return emails, I have to do this, I have to do that. That's fine. Wear blue blocking glasses. I want to be careful with the blue blocking glasses, though, because there are a lot of cheap companies that now carry on Amazon, claim to be, blocking the blue light, but they do not block the full length of that blue light. So making sure you get true blue light blocking glasses. I do the same thing. Sometimes I shut everything off around 7:30 p.m. Okay. But if I have some work before that, when the sun is down already and my overhead lights are off, I wear blue light blocking glasses all the way until I go to bed.
Okay.
So that's an extra step that, again, it's easy, and I know it feels like, oh my gosh, I do this every night. It doesn't matter where I am in the world, what I do, it just became who I am, my identity. And that's eventually the goal. You start doing something, right? Like exercising, it's freaking hard to make yourself do it. You have to know why you do it. You have to have all these strategies in place. But then if you keep doing it every single day, it's like, oh, this is who I am now. This is what I do. And I sleep so much better. My life is so much better, right?
Yeah. Awesome. So I've learned something. Red or yellow light bulbs as a way to darken my room when I need light, but getting ready for bed. Okay. So what is next? We got R.
So we got R. R is for relax, wind down, right? You can just go from a fight or returning crazy emails, stress, whatever is happening in your, life, the hour, 2 hours before bed, and just bam, you slam yourself down. It's like you're expected to fall asleep now and have a great sleep. It's like when you go to exercise, you don't just lift 200 pounds, right? You got to warm up. So same exact thing with everything else that we do. It's a warm up to go to bed. So having some kind of a wind down ritual is extremely important for the heart rate to go down, for your body to know what's going on, and be able to have that deep sleep, because deep sleep is the very first stage of sleep. And that is that sleep where your brain finally doesn't have to watch over you, doesn't have to work. It really detoxifies itself. It's like taking a shower and just deep cleaning. Machines are coming through and cleaning up all the toxins and fixing everything in your brain and in your body. So what I do is, again, I have the same routine. I shut everything off. My phone is out of the room. I know this is really hard, but again, it's for those who do want to live a healthy, vibrant life, right? You will understand that you want to get rid of the phone, not just for the evening, but also for the morning part. And then what I do is I do just light stretching on the floor.
Okay.
And do deep breathing. Sometimes I use foam roller. It just depends what kind of soreness I got from the morning exercise. And then I go to my bed. I already have my eye mask ready as well for more darkness at night while I'm sleeping. and I do a little bit of gratitude, and I don't really write it. I just go through little things in my head, because you want to go to sleep feeling good. A lot of people talk about journaling and getting rid of, stuff that worries you or whatever. I believe that's something that should be happening in the morning. At night, you want to be in the most positive, gratitude, good state of mind. And that's the time to feel, and it can be anything. Like, I have a bed I can lay in. I saw a butterfly today, or whatever. I had this experience with my husband, wife, my kids. Like, it can be truly anything, whatever happened in your business. Just kind of go through that in your mind, and it sets a really good state for you to go to sleep. And also what I do next is I ask the universe, whatever, you can talk to whoever, that is, that you believe, God's, whatever, spirits, what kind of night I want to have. I want to sleep through the night. I want to have great deep sleep. And just another little, thank you. And that's it. And it really takes 20 minutes, not even that sometimes. And now my body can just fall asleep within 15 minutes.
Okay. So this is your go to bed routine that you start roughly 20 minutes before your head hits the pillow and all the lights are off.
Yep.
Okay.
Exactly. That's the relax.
Perfect. So we start out with, we're going to, maybe an hour before bed, we're going to be in a dark environment where the lights that are on are red lights or yellow lights. Then we're going 20 minutes before bed, we're going to relax. That's our R, with some journaling, gratitude, with some light stretching. And you've got your eye mask that you put on, and you're laying in bed, and you're just going to tick off mentally some things that you're grateful for that day, and in the type of sleep that you want to have.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, you're going to sleep great after
that. Perfect. Now we're to the E. What's the E?
Yeah. So the E is for environment. Your bedroom is a healing space. There should be no clutter. It should be clean, free of toxins, free of mess. It's just that simple. Making sure you're cleaning your room, every week, and changing your sheets, and just no EMFs. And
what EMF? What's EMF?
Electromagnetic frequencies.
Okay, no electromagnetic.
Don't have routers in your bedroom, for God's sakes, right?
No. Okay.
None of that stuff, because we are energetic beings, right? So we absorb energy. We are energy. So you want to make sure that the environment is truly healing your body, supporting your body. You're laying there for 8 hours. So just think about it that way. You want that environment super clean and free of clutter and toxins. Make sure there is no mold in your bedroom. Windows should be open to get fresh air. So things like that.
Okay. So we've got a clean environment, and that's going to happen before like bedtime, right? I mean,
that's your bedroom. That's just how your bedroom is, right?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay. What is A?
A is for air. And that's lowering the temperature, because your body needs to drop a degree of temperature before it goes to bed. Everything is regulated by light, temperature. Like, this is how just our biology works. So you want the air in your bedroom as cool as possible. I have mine at 65 degrees. And
65.
Yes.
Okay.
You fall asleep so much better. And there are things that you can do. Like, sometimes I feel a little cold feet, right? So you can put socks on. That's fine.
Okay. So our question of the day at the gym, we have a question of the day before every workout. The question of today was, when you're sleeping in your bed, are the sheets tucked or untucked?
Oh, absolutely untucked. Oh my God.
That's what I thought you were going to say, with the feet hanging out of the bed.
You don't want to have any constrictions in your feet or in your body at all. You want to be free to move, right?
I want to feel safe and secure.
Okay, well, that's a way. That's a weighted. You can have weighted blanket. You can have
weighted. Yep.
I mean, I have a thick wool, nice thick a blanket.
Okay.
So it's really warm, but it's very breathable. But I need that too. Yeah, you want that, but it's not tucked. You want your feet to be able to move, right? It's just like, you don't wear shoes. There's, scrunching your feet. I hope You were just
Okay. That was a conversation we had on Monday, by the way.
I'm going somewhere else, but it kind of connects to everything, right?
Absolutely.
You just want to be able to, like, even you telling me that it's like, oh my gosh, I want to move my toes right now. Yeah, no tucking.
Okay.
No tucking.
So we're back to the AC. You've got the AC turned down to 65.
Yeah.
I recommend 68, by the way.
It's whatever your body likes.
It's either way, you're under the covers.
You can be under the, listen, this is not about really the temperature. This is about the body having the opportunity to actually drop down that degree so you can fall asleep easier. That's the whole point, because if it's hot, you're not going to be able to fall asleep. Like, if anybody listening right now, like, okay, I'm doing all these things, but I have a hard time falling asleep, check your temperature.
So I live outside of Houston, and we have a tendency to get hit with a hurricane. When that happens, we lose electricity, and we can lose electricity for a week to 10 days. There is no hurricane season is in the summer. There is no AC, and finding a comfortable place to sleep in Houston in the summer without air conditioning is extremely difficult. It will be the number one complaint, ahead of water, ahead of food. A lack of AC while trying to sleep will be the number one complaint.
And so you're just answering the question and proving the science. It's really hard to sleep when it's hot. It's really hard to sleep. So do you, how is it functioning like a refrigerator and freezers?
Well, with no electricity.
Generators?
Yeah, so people invest in generators.
Okay, so because we have, the area I live in, we lose power on average every month. And so we have a generator, because without a generator, it would be impossible. So I was going to say, like, if you have a generator, even if, if you can have some ice packs or something, some ice cooling, something to put in your bed, that can help. Just putting on your feet or on your hands, that cools your body temperature down. Just make sure you're not putting it on your neck and any of these kind of parts, but it's your cheeks, it's the palm of your hands and the bottom of your feet. That cools your body temperature down pretty quickly. That's really, very
good.
Yeah.
So we talked about dark.
Yeah.
We talked about dark. We talked about relaxing before bed. We talked about your clean environment. And we talked about lowering the temperature to 65, 68, somewhere where it's cold.
Just make sure you're cool. Yeah.
Okay. So then M, what is M?
M is for mute.
Mute.
Yes. We need silence.
Okay.
And I'm going to talk about my experience. I'm 49. I'm heading to menopause. I've been in perimenopause. So this is for all the women. If you have a snoring husband, if you have dogs that are in your room, and I know I have so many clients like, I'm not going to get rid of my dogs and my cats. I'm like, you will when you get to the point that you are just not getting that sleep that you need in order to get the health that you're asking me to help you create.
Okay.
So it's really important that we don't have any interruptions. We may not even realize that something is waking up constantly throughout the night. Like, I wear my Whoop, and there's other, Aura, whatever. There's other devices that I don't recommend wearing. Apple Watch, please. Again, EMF and the watch, and it's just like so much stuff. And I know this has a little bit of it too, but at least there is no text messaging and emails and none of that stuff coming through. And I know you can do, airplane mode and stuff like that, but just like less is best. So the silence is really important. Going back to what I was going to say is, even when we're not realizing that we're waking up in the middle of the night, and it really interrupts the cycles of sleeps, especially when you're going through the REM sleep, the dreaming stages and all that stuff. So it's important to eliminate all of the noise. And I'm not talking about, like, some people need the humming sound or something. Like, for example, I have an air.
Those are going to be my questions.
Yes, I have an air filter in my bedroom. I don't like it, honestly, because I just like complete silence, and we live in nature. But my husband, he likes that white noise, and that air filter just gives him a little bit of that white noise it helps him sleep, and I just use earplugs. So that is the how we negotiated and compromised.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I prefer total silence.
Yeah.
I prefer total silence. My wife, we do have a dog who sleeps in our room. He sleeps, but he's out of everyone in my family, he sleeps the best. So he doesn't really wake us up, and he doesn't have sounds. Anyway, my wife prefers the white noise, so we have a sound machine, and I'm okay with that. She will also. We've tried it without the sound machine, and she has used noise canceling ear pods that are designed specifically for sleep to remove sounds at night. Do you have an opinion on
I
any of
just
those?
be careful anything in your brain that has EMFs. I mean,
Okay.
that, if it's not connected to something directly, then it's obviously it has the EMFs, the electromagnetic frequencies. You just don't want to have anything like that around your brain, especially, again, that's the time for the brain to detoxify, remove all that stuff, and now you're putting stuff in. So that, since you asked,
Sure.
I want the bedroom to be as clean as humanly possible of all the electronics, all the toxins. And stress is a toxin, electronics are toxins. Just think about anything that is not natural. Like, the best thing would be to go outside, lay on the grass, and sleep, right?
Sure.
So
Except for the bugs. Except for the bugs and the heat.
cool. I'm not talking about Texas.
Yeah. Step one, move to Colorado. All right. I mean, I get that.
Yeah. So yeah, it's I understand that people have all of these needs to try to figure out a way. Like, for example, it's the air filter, right? For us, it's cleaning the air. It's away from us. It's on the other side of the room. It gives my husband, his needs. I use earplugs, so I'm fine.
Okay.
The other thing is where I was going with this with women too. I was talking about perimenopause. I got more sensitive with age and the hormonal change. It's not really age; it's just hormonal changes with the age to noise and sound and light and all of that. So, and I know where everybody's used to sleeping together in one bed. So I want to make this completely normal. Then my husband and I had to arrive to the point where every single move interrupted me. He snores sometimes, right? So it's like, what do? We want to stay in the same room? Do we, have separate rooms? We don't really have the kind of, way to do it in our house, and we could figure it out. It would be complicated. What's the easiest way?
Yep.
We got rid of our bed and put two beds in the same room.
Okay.
So there is no interruptions from movement. He's a little bit further away. So even if he makes a little bit of noise, I can't hear it. But now he wears mouth tape. So he's not snoring at all. He's sleeping better. He's getting more oxygen into his brain as well. So there's always a way. I just don't want people to think sometimes we get into this place like we're stuck. There's nothing I can do. I have to suffer through it. When it comes to your sleep, it is the most important thing. I know we can talk about exercise, food, and all of that stuff, but if your sleep is not perfect and you're going to have more disease, you're not going to be able to exercise, to your full potential. I mean, every other thing will just not be optimal. So really, really protect your sleep in all the ways possible. So that's mute. Quiet.
Okay. Awesome. So we've got dream, but you told me it's dreams. We pluralize it. So what's the S?
Yes. S is for supper and supplements.
Okay.
Yeah. And this is really, really important one because we're talking about the body being regulated by the light, and everything that happens in the body is on a 24-hour cycle, and it just makes sense. And it's just how biology works. And every time we go against biology, we're going to suffer, right? So biology wants us to stop eating enough time before we go to bed, so your body doesn't have to be digesting food, but can again focus on what the sleep is for. And it's an active process of detoxification, rejuvenation. If you are going to detoxify and rejuvenate, you cannot have food in your stomach to be digesting, right? That's a very taxing process, and your body can't do both. So having dinner, I would say 4 hours before bed. and I don't, and let me actually correct it, not dinner, food, any kind of food.
Yep.
We have a handful of nuts after, because we're like, oh, I had my dinner at 6 p.m., but then at 9 p.m. I had a handful of nuts. No. No food. A lot of people say 3 hours. I have tested it on myself. I have the best deep sleep if I don't have any food for 4 hours before going to bed. And I would say that's how it's going to work for most people. Again, I know it because I measure it, right? You don't really know what kind of deep sleep you're having unless you measure it. And also thinking about what you're going to have for dinner. Making sure it's not going to be something that's spiking your glucose, right? If you want to have cookies or alcohol or whatever, have it with your lunch. Leave the dinner for a very healthy, full of fiber, healthy fats, lean protein food.
I'm laughing because that's what I always want you to eat for all of your meals.
Yes.
Right. That's why I'm laughing, because the advice, it just doesn't change.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't change.
Yeah.
And if we just do some math real quick, I encourage my clients to get 8 to 8.5. Let's start with 7, right? Hours of sleep opportunity. Sleep opportunity is when your head hits the pillow with all the lights out, like there's nothing left to do except go to bed. And that's when it starts. And then you wake up, either on your own or when the alarm goes off. That's sleep opportunity, whether or not you're tossing and turning, whether or not you're actually asleep. Some of that can be hard to control. Your dreams method helps us optimize that as much as possible, but sometimes it can still be hard to control. So I just think of it in terms of sleep opportunity. If I'm not eating until 4 hours before that 8 hours of sleep opportunity, now I'm actually going to, quote unquote, intermittent fast for 12 hours, right? And so people say, do you believe in intermittent fasting? And I'm like, I don't believe in intermittent fasting so much as I believe in getting 8 hours of sleep and eating dinner, just as you meant, your last meal, several hours. I don't usually go quite as aggressive as 4 hours, mainly because my bedtime is close to 8. And so that means I don't get to eat till 4. But, it's still this long time, right? Because the digestive process that you just mentioned is an active process that your body has to go through, and you cannot get restorative sleep while digesting food.
Exactly. Yeah. And speaking of that, I go to bed at 8:30.
Okay.
My dinner is at 4. I eat between 4 and 5. If I'm going to eat a little bit later for whatever reason, I'm going to have something very light, arugula salad with avocado and some pumpkin seeds and olive oil and lemon.
See, you toss in some grilled salmon, and that is going to be my normal dinner.
Yeah. We're on the same page, Brian. We can have dinner together. That's awesome. That's exactly how I eat. And so think about it. These are the easiest digestible foods, right? Plant foods. You're just feeding your gut microbiome, giving them some food, and it's really nothing to digest for you. So that's super easy, just thinking about that way. But now we're going to the food pillar in my book, which people can read about there. But easy to digest food. Not having anything that's going to spike your glucose. This is constant with my clients. Like I have them wear a continuous glucose monitor. Okay. They're not sleeping well. And I'm constantly seeing what they're doing in the evening. They're spiking the glucose. Then they're waking up at 2 a.m. and they're asking me why. Well, look where your glucose was dropped. Yeah. So your liver is suffering now, like trying to produce glycogen so you can actually survive. Like it's a very complex thing. We're not just saying this because we're saying this. This is science. This is how our biology works. And you hear everybody saying this because it's just the truth. That's just what it is, right? You can't go against biology. You're going to lose every time.
You and I, we can argue about this all you want, but the fact is, this is the way your body works. Like,
exactly.
It just is.
It just is. So that's for supper. The other S, in the S is for supplements, because I understand that we all need a little bit of support because of the way we live now, how the soil is depleted from minerals. So magnesium is extremely important for relaxation and so many biological processes in your body. I like to take the combination of magnesium glycinate because it supports detoxification as well as relaxation, and magnesium threonate because it's the only magnesium salt that actually goes to your brain, that can get through the blood-brain barrier. So it works nicely on the brain. And the other one that I take every night, but I cycle it, so I take like a week off every 2 months or so, is ashwagandha, because it lowers cortisol, which is nice. And if people have more problems with cortisol, phosphatidylserine is another one that I recommend. But these are not quick fixes. This is every single day, consistently taking these supplements in the evening. And then, I have other suggestions for women or, anybody else that have some specific challenges. But this is just kind of a basic. And that's it. And there you get better sleep, quality, quantity. It's not just the quantity, it's the quality of the sleep. Because some people are like, well, I'm in bed, like you're saying. I recommend 7 to 9. I sleep about 8 to 8.5 hours every night.
Yep.
But it's the quality. How much deep sleep are you getting? What is the percentage of your deep sleep? What is the percentage of your REM sleep? How many times do you wake up? How much of light sleep you're getting? Those are all important factors that play into your overall health.
Yep. Yeah. So we have the dreams method. We have we're going to darken the room. We're going to relax with our. I loved your gratitude. Laying in bed. I do. I'm always grateful for my bed and my pillow. That's every night. I just remind. No matter what else is going on in life, I'm going to be grateful for my bed and my pillow.
Yes.
My wife is going to say, well, aren't you grateful for me? And I'm like, because you've been on a trip for the past week, right? And you're not here. That's why I'm grateful for my bed and my pillow. We're going to have an environment that is clean. We're going to have our low air temperature. We're going to have silence or maybe a light fan. And then we're going to not eat supper, not eat before bed. And there's some supplements that you recommend giving a try. This is awesome. Thank you. Tell me, this is my time to talk about my book. So I wrote a book, 1 Minute Fitness, 1 Minute Fitness, 365 ways to improve your life. Very quick, simple, easy actions, including everything we just talked about here. I don't get into the supplement piece, but literally everything else. If you want to know how to, or some options on making your room darker or silent and all those things. And then your book is coming out soon, correct?
Yeah, on the 13th, May 13th. Yeah.
May 13th. Love it. And the name of the book again?
Live Well, Empowering Habits for Vibrant Health and Unstoppable Energy.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Thank you so much for being here. This was awesome. I came away. I've studied this. I wrote a book about it, and I still learned a couple of things from you that I can apply. I'm going to get on Amazon and get us some red and yellow lights as soon as we get off. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you being here.
That was fun. Thank you.
Awesome. Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.